Well, Dolph, obviously you, but I know a lot of our listeners too probably have a child or grandchild who's back in school or heading there soon. Rod Sides is a retail consultant at Deloitte Services, and he sheds some light on exactly how much we're spending on all of this back-to-school shopping.
It's the second biggest shopping season of the year. It's $27 billion, roughly. 27.6 actually this year is what we estimate they're being spent.
That's a big budget for heading back to school. Being kindergarten aged off, you don't have that much of an expense right now, I'm sure, but still hefty. How do you help folks plan for not just back to school, but both the unexpected and the expected expenses after they stop working, though, and they don't have that income coming in?
I mean, I love the way you asked this question, and thanks for asking this question. I mean, again, it goes back to what I said a minute ago. It's goals and expectations. Is so many people, when they're going to retirement, they're worried about how much money they have. Mm-hmm. And they're not taking in the consideration of the breakdown versus fixed expenses versus variable expenses. But you have to keep it simple. And if you can keep it simple, it makes things a lot easier. Take care of your fixed expenses first, and then budget for your variable expenses going forward. When we do our analysis with clients, we try to designate it for today, tomorrow, and never. It's an article I wrote in Money Magazine a couple of years ago. Having your money to spend today, having the growth and income to prepare you for tomorrow, and having that never money to be out there just in case to supplement your income or something happens down the road. Now, I look at Eric and Maggie. I mean, they're not clients of mine. We've been in communication for a couple of years. We still talk. He still asks me questions and stuff. It's wonderful. But unfortunately, when we've met with them, they're living outside their means. Okay. They're now retired. They're spending more than they got coming in by about 25%. But that's their lifestyle. They said, we want to go from the ages of 65 to 75. And that's their total preference, everything like that. And that's the way they're living their life. But every time I talk to Eric, I'm like, now you're 6 years away from 75. Do you have a plan in place when you hit 75? He goes, Dolph, I'll worry about it when I get there, and I'll talk to you when I need some more help.
Eek. That's kind of scary to think about, though, to wait and put it off. Or is that the right thing to do? Everybody's situation is different. That's what they want to do. They're invested heavy into real estate, and they're putting all their eggs into real estate. So I wish them the best. If they're listening, I wish you nothing but the best. But I look at Larry and Jane, and their situation is they're using the system. They've been clients of mine now for 8.5 years, happily retired for 4.5 years. They're living within their means because the hardest day, Kristen, I think in life, well, there's a lot of them, but one of the hardest days in life is the day that you retire. The day that you wake up and realize, oh, I don't have to go to work. What am I going to do? Oh, snap. I have to start paying myself. And then you have to have that budget of your fixed expenses versus your variable expenses. And when we're doing reports and analyzations for clients, it's so important to know what are your fixed expenses? What do you need to take care of your lifestyle, your health care costs, your home costs, your utilities, versus the variable expenses. And I put food in a variable expense because you can control how much money you're going to spend in food. I don't know, Dolph, my appetite, I have trouble staying on a diet, so I can't really control a lot of that, but I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, you can go to the grocery store and spend $150 on food that can last you for a whole week. True. If you shop properly. How many times can you go out to dinner with a friend or two like this, and next thing you know, the bill's $100? And that was just for one meal. Well, generally, you're supposed to eat 21 meals a week. If you spent your budget all in one meal, that's a variable expense. Yep. Living within your means. You really need to have that glass of wine when you go out to dinner, when your wine's gone before the dinner even arrives. Thinking, preparing, and planning is the important part of this whole situation. On the Income Strategy Show with Dolph Janis, right here on News 1110 and 99.3 WBT.